Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today we're looking at, I believe, the smallest fixed blade I have ever reviewed on the channel. It is the mini Tanimboca Puukko from Tops Knives. So I have the original Tanimboca Puukko from Tops, which is right here. And this is part of a system I had built for myself by Black Bear Custom Kydex. And this is the system. So I have the Tops Kukri, the Puukko there. I've got a Streamlit Microstream and then a Exotac Fire Steel right there. So there's the system. If you want more information, check out Black Bear Custom Kydex. But I brought this system out basically because I want to compare the original Tanimboca Puukko, it's just a handful to say, with the mini version. So obviously, as you can see, they are notably different in size. Now, if you're not familiar with the Puukko style knife, it's got just kind of a blocky, chunky handle there. Really useful in the woods for a lot of different things. You do have a 90-degree spine on that one, and we will show you on this one as well. I combined this with the Kukri because I figured the Kukri I can do, more of those chopping tasks and some of the larger cuts I need to do. I can use this, and I love this as a survival knife, just an overall outdoors knife. So that one combined with this one for more of that detail work, I just feel like they've been a great combination. Now, the mini Tanimboca Puukko is going to be a detail knife, as you can obviously see. It does come with, let me grab a hold of the sheath here without dropping all my other gear. It does come with this very nice leather sheath from Tops. So drop that in there, and it does come with the lanyard that does quick detach like that. And you could just throw this around your neck. So my first survival outing I ever videoed and did like a full-length video was I carried a larger knife. It wasn't the Kukri, but I carried the I.C.E. Azula around my neck, and I used that for really like 90% of the cutting I was doing out there in the woods. So while I think the mini is going to be a great knife, it's definitely going to be more of a real detail knife for doing tiny little carving tasks, and also you could certainly gut a fish or dress something in the field with that. This is going to be kind of that middle ground. So from the Kukri to this and then to the mini is kind of how I see maybe a 3-knife system working. So let me give you the details. So your weight is 1.4 ounces, 2.6 with the sheath. It is 1095. Like I said, you do have a 90-degree spine there. You do have that black micarta, and then you got the red liner there, which is really cool as well. It is a full tang knife. Very small, but a full tang knife nonetheless. Your total length is 4 inches from end to end, 1.63 for your blade and your cutting edge. All right, so by the nature of this knife, you're not going to need to have a quick draw option for this. So I think this nice deep carry sheath, it does have a little loop there, so you can put that on a belt. So you're not going to be running a huge rigger's belt or something, but my preferred carry for this has just been around my neck, or even just curling it up like this and then dropping that in my pocket. So I have messed around with this thing, done a bunch of carving. I have used it out in the woods, and then I was just sitting on the front step messing around with like a tri-stick. So you can see I've got, it's definitely not the evenly angled 45 degrees on either side, but you got that. If you were doing some different cuts for different traps or things like that in the woods, half moon there. There's your kind of rounded end if you were doing like a bow drill or something like that. But I did all this with the mini Tanimboca Puukko, and super comfortable. Because of the size of it, you end up holding it basically with maybe 2 fingers, the third sort of resting on it. But it does allow you to really get in there and do some of those tiny, tiny cuts, really precise. And with that tiny, fine tip there, I mean, you could, there were points when I was actually using the knife. I don't think I ever used it upside down like this, but I did use it like this, and was just kind of like almost like a very small X-Acto knife or pen. Just did some carving like that. So When I got this knife, I thought, yeah, I'm going to test it out, and I was thinking of combining this with their new Yukon Tomahawk, and that, I think that to this would allow a very good, you know, chopping tool and a smaller knife. I think this thing, I would want to have the Puukko or something a little bit larger too, though. I think this is going to be great for a lot of those really good detail tasks, but this is not going to do some of the middle level tasks that you'd want for a standard 3 to 5 inch knife. Real quick, I'll show you. This is my Exotac fire steel that I keep on my keychain all the time. So with the spine here, it definitely throws sparks nicely. Which, you know, that's another option. Like, you're going to use this for carving tasks, hitting your ferro rod. Yeah, it's just a cool little knife. I just like this little knife. I'm somebody who, when I'm out in the woods, once I get my wood process down, I love to just sit around and just carve things and, you know, make traps and make little, you know, notches and things like that. So this knife for that is, I think, really good. And again, if you're somebody who's doing a lot of detail work like that with wood, great. But then also, if you're, you know, like for me, fishing is my main thing. So if I'm fishing and I catch something and I want to eat it, cook it over the fire, to gut it and to, you know, even to scale it, I guess you could with the spine of this. But just to, you know, to cut it open, to cut around all the different things that you want to take out, to split it a little bit more. This knife works great for that. This knife would work great for those types of tasks. I have not done a ton of that, but having used other small knives like this for that, I can tell you that this would function very much the same. All right, let me show you this thing a little bit in use now. So I got a little piece of maple here, and then I'll show you how I hold it. Basically kind of a pinch like this, and then this other finger kind of wraps there. So it ends up falling into my hand like that. But, you know, if I were to sharpen this thing out, kind of beaver chew through it to make a, I want to make, let's say, a point on this thing. And I've done most of the cuts I've found tend to be these types of cuts with my thumb just pushing on the spine. All right, so we got that piece out of the way. Now if I want to sharpen this up, this is obviously way too small to be like a tent stake or something like that, but if I needed to make a, you know, a sharp point for something, this is how I've been using it so far. Like I said, just pushing on that spine. This piece of maple looks like it's rotted a bit in the middle, so I can't get something amazingly sharp at this point, but decent. There's a little example of maybe making a point. Let me show you a little feather stick now, maybe. There's a little feathering with this knife. So you can probably tell Scandi grind there, which is, you know, a lot of people who do stuff out in the woods, bushcrafters and stuff, like that Scandi grind. The deal breaker, I think, for a lot of people is going to be price. It's going to run you 90 bucks, so it's not super cheap. It's definitely one of those quirky little knives that there's going to be people who are like, yes, I love that. I want it as soon as it's available. It is available right now, so I've got links down below if you want to pick up one of these mini Tanimboca Puukkos. Yeah, the price is just going to be too much when some people are going to say the sheer amount of steel and the micarta, it's not that big, so why am I paying so much? But it is a fun little knife to use, I can tell you that. And I do think with the kukri, the normal Tanimboca Puukko, and then this like as a neck knife option, that's a really nice system, I think, for being out in the woods. So let's get the discussion started. First, I want to hear what you think about this knife. Secondly, if you use tiny little knives like this for tasks out in the woods or just in general, I'd love to hear you know, what you're using them for. The other thing is you can definitely EDC this, you know, put it in the sheath and then just drop it into your pocket, and it's a cool little EDC knife for all kinds of tasks around the office, at home, whatever it might be, obviously depending on what kind of office you're in. But yeah, really cool little knife. I think this is the 36th one that was made for production that I got a hold of. So fun little knife, and this is going to go into one of my bushcraft bags, I think one of my kits. So, yeah, there you go. Tops Mini Tanimboca Puukko, links down below if you want more information about this or to purchase one. And let's hear your thoughts in the comment section. All right, thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.